Look at how cool this knife is. Perhaps the coolest folding knife I have reviewed in years. This is the CKF Morrf series review in the TMP knife show. And man, is this a great knife. When I am critical about the US knife industry, saying they lack imagination, they just keep regurgitating designs, weirdo designs that will not stand the test of time, and there are many other excellent designs out there that can be created that users will buy. They will devour them. This is the kind of blade I'm talking about right here. They're selling very well, even though they're very expensive. The Morrf series by Custom Knife Factory. I think it's going to be a shot across the bow, is what I think, in the knife industry. Because as the word gets out, and I'm helping with these reviews I'm doing here on CKF, and knowing what is possible with this type of blade, we'll call it a tactical folder, guys are going to want to see more of it, and there will be a demand to have it produced for less cost. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So what CKF is doing now is very excellent. It is very expensive, though. These knives will run around 400-ish here or there. They're expensive. And perhaps another company comes in and they go, hey, we can do that, we can do it for less, and thus begins competition, which is good for us consumers, right? This is an imaginative design. The construction is really top-notch. I can't think of any criticism on this blade. I'll just say it right now on camera. It's 5 stars, and that's including the price. We're not talking about a low-end knife here, dudes. We're not. I've done that for years here in the project. I've served my audience with a lot of value knives. We are talking basically about a semi-custom knife. It's a knife that uses top materials. There's no shortcuts in the construction. The fit and finish is done by hand in Russia. A lot of the CNC stuff is done in China, so technically I guess you could say it's a Chinese-produced blade assembled in Russia. But what results is pretty much a custom blade. On par with other semi-custom stuff like Microtech, they have also led the pack in a lot of these design elements. It excites me. When I first picked up this knife, the Morrf, I was like, win, total win. I was like, I was with a friend, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. This knife right here. Not exactly this knife, but this level of creativity, function, quality, fit and finish. I think you get the point. So I'm going to review 3 CKF knives tonight in rapid succession. I want to make the reviews short as I can. Let's get to it. Philosophy of use. To answer that on the Morrf series, and this is a Morrf 3 by the way, and in this version it has CF on one side and titanium, beautifully milled, chunked out titanium. I really like that. I've seen it in other knives. We've seen it here on Tabletop. All types of different variations. Most will sell out quickly and then they will be discontinued, and then it will perhaps be resurrected in a new version like Morrf 4, 5, 6, 7. Different handle treatments, steels, maybe some changes in the design elements. I think essentially it will be pretty similar. But to answer the philosophy of use discussion, I'm going to show you the case. Check it out. How cool is that case? I love the colors. Awesome. I like that it says knives from the best Russian designers. I like that. And mostly what I like about this is that it is a Velcro pouch that is useful. It's not a belt carry pouch. You notice that? Why? Because this knife, talking POU, is a collectible. This is how it's going to be, stored. Guys want to keep it, scratch free. Has a little cleaning cloth there. Soft lined. Perfect. That is a company that gets what its knives are about. No surprise, because like they say, it's, limited production, semi-custom. Well done. So that's where I'll put it. It will go directly into a collection of someone that likes high-end tactical folding knives, that just likes to fondle them, maybe trade them. Will this knife go up in value? I would say probably yes. That's my gut feeling. Not empirically based at all. This is a new company. From what I'm seeing, as these get discontinued, I think they will trade readily on the knife market. I think they will at least hold their initial purchase price and probably go up from there. Each one is numbered. This is number 100 out of 120 of this version. See what I mean? So again, CKF is like, hey, let's limit it. We'll come out with a different version later, but for this series, this is it. 120. They can afford to do that because they're making good money on these knives. They are, like we said, expensive. Weight on the Morrf 3 is an amazing 3.8 ounces, by the way. So that would put it in the ballpark of HEC, EDC. Stupid acronyms, I know. High-end carry, utility knife. I don't think anyone would ever do that. I just don't see it happening. I don't. I've never gear checked a guy and he brought out a really super expensive blade. I just don't see it happening. Because it's a financial asset and you protect those, generally speaking. It'd be like going out and buying a really nice car and going driving across a cornfield through ditches and stuff. Yeah, I have heard of that, by the way. EDC, nah, I don't think it's going to happen. Tactical blade, absolutely, it could function in that. We'll see the traction on this knife is pretty excellent. And that kind of gets to that thing I call first cool, second cool for me, which is an important balance. The Morrf series gets it right for me. I'll EPO you at that. Like I said, 3.8 ounces. The weight feels feathery. Nothing. Now, when I talk about the U.S. knife industry, and generally it's called the sporting knife industry, so it's not hunting. You're talking tactical blades, maybe backpack hunting blades. A knife that this could be compared to, which is also equally awesome, and it is one of those value knives, and the lines of the Morrf remind me of it, and I'll just bring it in now, is a Kershaw 1870 Knockout. Kind of, right? Kind of similar. This is why I'm saying no one would like EDC this. I'd just like EDC a $65 Knockout. There it is in OD. I think all these are going by the wayside. I'll put a link there. Get them if you're interested. I'm talking the Knockout. Here's a black one. Similar. And the reason I'm rolling them here now, I have skateboard tape here for getting them out of the pocket. I love the Knockout. Such a cool blade. Is because these are the same weight. And what did I do when I reviewed those knives? Raved about the weight. Enough said. Enough said. They feel good in hand. Overall. All these knives do, especially that one. S35 steel, which I think every CKF knife I'm reviewing features. It's a great powder metallurgy steel. Great steel. Here's the finish on this particular blade. Look at that. I mean, you don't see any machining marks on that, do you? One of the criticisms that I level to Spyderco, even on some of their high-end Taiwanese produced blades, is you'll see striations, machining striations on there for like a $200 plus knife. I'm like, come on, man. This is a beautiful finish right here. So do they finish this in China or Russia? I don't know. And look at the milling. This is like a high-end kind of custom feature. A lot of custom knives will just do things that add visual interest to the blade. And all of the CKF knives that I've seen and handled and studied do that. Good. I love the blade shape too. Nice sweep to it. Same as I said about this. It's functional. And if you care about it, they're tip strength for you. Speed on this flipper design is sick. Super fast. I don't know if I'm demonstrating it properly. The Knockout, I mean, these are two different knives. I mean, this is not even in the realm of collectability. As far as function, they're very similar, right? They are. And this is an assisted opening knife. It comes out very quickly. Notice the flipper tab is angled. I kind of wish the Morrf, if I was to ding it on anything, I would angle that flipper tab back in subsequent Morrf series and maybe get rid of that jimping on the flipper tab. I don't need jimping there. That's the one place in a blade I don't need it. That's just me though. Lock up tight, ball bearing system. There's a stainless steel locking bar insert. There's no stabilizer disc, so when you open it, just make sure you don't hyperextend it and don't give it to anybody who does not understand how to handle a very expensive frame lock. Pivot point right there. You can adjust this one. That's kind of a cool visual feature right here. Mini Torx on that side. Mini Torx construction all the way through. There's your standoffs. Super lightweight. On the handle, just like we saw on another blade I just reviewed, this is all CF. This is kind of what I've talked about for years. I'm like, why do we need steel liners on everything? And here a company is getting it right. I just reviewed a ZT that does the same thing. The 0452 CF. That's why this knife is so light. If they put a titanium slab over here, you're looking at 5.4 ounces. Just gorgeous, man. We're kind of talking about the handle now. I really like the looks on everything. It's like one of those I call them Fred Flintstone designs. It looks like it's just like, I don't know, an arrowhead in the desert. It's been chiseled away. Just really cool. And they're not the first to do it. It's been around for a very, very long time, as you guys know. No criticisms on speed, lockup, or strength at all. It might interest you to know there are no thumb studs on this, though, if that's important to you. And then let's look at the functional jimping, and this is why I said it could be a tactical knife. It works. I'll give the jimping 5 stars. How's that? I was going to tell you guys that I actually cut it in myself with a Dremel because it's kind of like unevenly spaced. It looks like my own jimping. Oh, well done, man. Very cool. Pocket clip. Also titanium, and it's probably mimmed, and it adds interest. It is tipped down. I love that, and you're kind of stuck with its orientation because it's not reversible. You can't put it in other corners. But welcome to the world of custom, semi-custom. It kind of is what it is, right? Oh, man, this is a sick knife, man. How deep does it carry? Well, you're going to have some presenting, but is anyone going to really be carrying this, for honest? Value. I forgot to write down the exact price. I said ballpark it at $400. I'll stick with that. It's around there. They'll go up and down depending on handle treatment, blade steels, and more importantly, how many they produced in that lineup. And I'll roll in some screenshots from their website of perhaps some other ones. They had this one with a dimpled titanium handle. It was an earlier Morrf. Dang, was that cool. And it sold out very quickly. For guys who run into these videos on the expensive knives, I'll say what I've said before. You know, you'll go, well, I would never spend that on a blade, on a folding knife. And I hear what you're saying, but let me tell you, there are lots of guys that do. Lots. If it wasn't the case, then these knives would not sell out the way they do. Sometimes a knife like this will be issued, and with a matter of days, it will be gone. And then it starts going up in value because it's limited. There you go. So setting standards, I think that a lot of knife companies will be paying attention to is CKF. Russian designed knives made in China, finished in Russia. Lightweight, functional, beautiful, fast, first and second cool, all the way. It's just really expensive. That's the Morrf series. Man, do I love that knife. TMP. See ya.